Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we have some Scream 6 news that I wanted to talk about today that is pretty interesting about Gale. And I just wanted to talk about it because just to kind of dissect some of this information. And, because it's like I said, some pretty intriguing information. So before I get into it, anyone who's new watching this, please like and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. It helps out a lot. So I'd really appreciate it. If anyone new watching this, please hit the like button, subscribe. And yeah, I'm just going to dive right into this. So basically, Critical Overlord, who I've talked about many times on my channel, when I get information from him, I've talked about him before. And he's another great YouTuber. So, anytime I get information from him on Twitter or, some of his videos that I've seen, I'll give him credit for it. So, yeah, he posted this on his Twitter 2 days ago, or like 3 days ago now. And I had screenshotted it. And basically what he said in this tweet is that Gale Weathers wrote a new book for Scream 6 based on the Requel events. Now, this is interesting because if you guys remember, in Scream 5, at the end of Scream 5, Gale had said to Sam that she wasn't going to write a book about Richie and Amber and the whole Woodsboro murders that happened in Scream 5. Gale told Sam that she wouldn't write about any of that. Instead, Gale said she's going to write about a book about Dewey. So now that we have this image right here, which, by the way, came from some Scream 6 experience. Like, it was like a convention that I seen on Twitter, and there was like some fans on Twitter posting about it. I've even seen like 3C Films talk about it on his channel because apparently he went there and he made a whole video about it. And yeah, but this image originally came from Donato Bomb on Twitter, and basically this was a Scream 6 convention experience with all the shrine items that we saw in the trailer for Scream 6. There's like a whole big section of the shrine room with all the items and basically all the props there. And one of them that a fan took a picture of was this right here of Gale Weathers' book. And one of them says, Requel, Terror Returns to Woodsboro. And so basically, Gale Weathers is writing a book, like I said, about the events of Scream 5. She's basically writing a Requel book about the events of Scream 5. And I see, which I kind of expected to happen, but I see some fans upset by this because some fans are like they're like, yo, like, this is messed up. This is just doesn't make any sense. Like, the writers literally are contradicting themselves and are ruining Gale's character development that she had in this franchise. Like, what are they doing? Like, they literally said that Gale wasn't going to write a book about the events of Scream 5, and then now we have this image right here showing that Gale is going to write a book about the events of Scream 5. Like, what are they doing? They're just contradicting themselves and ruining Gale's character and all that stuff. And here's the thing, though. And this is, I seen Critical Overlord make a video about this already, and a few other YouTubers too. And I got Critical Overlord in his video where he talked about this. He made good points that I was already, some of these thoughts I was thinking of as well already. And basically, the thing is that Gale pretty much has it, like, it's a year, time jump. I'm pretty sure it's like a year apart from Scream 5 to Scream 6. And so it's not that long apart. But the thing is, though, is that, and Gale, when it comes to Gale, there's a lot of reasons she could have wrote a book about the events of Scream 5. And this image right here, where Gale is talking to Sam and Tara, and they're like walking away from her, this is possibly the reason why. Is because they found out that, Gale wrote the book about Scream 5 and about the events of Scream 5. And Sam and Tara are like upset at Gale about it. And they're like, yo, like, what? Why would you do this? You're like, you betrayed us, or, something like that. And that's probably how they feel, and it's, but the thing is, though, Gale could have wrote the book about the events of Scream 5. She could have changed her mind and wrote the book about the events of Scream 5 for many reasons. One, her producers and the studio team that Gale is working with, they could have forced Gale to do this. They could have told her that you have to do this. You have to write a book about the events of Scream 5, because if you don't, your career is not gonna skyrocket. Your career is gonna go down. You're gonna get let go. We're not gonna have you on our team anymore, and you're no longer gonna be a news reporter, or and like they're basically like basically trying to threaten to like fire her if she doesn't write the book about the events of Scream 5. So yeah, like the producers and the studio team that Gale's working with, they could have forced Gale to write the book about the events of Scream 5. That's possible. Gale could have been forced to do this, even if she didn't want to. And that's why that's a big possibility. And I also just want to add real quick too, is that I've actually been planning to make this video since like 2 days ago. 2 days ago, I was already recording this video, and then in the middle of it, I got busy and I had to go do something else. So then I ended up not uploading it. I only like talked, and where this video that I'm making right now about Gale, I already was gonna make it 2 days ago. And 2 days ago when I was making it, I was only like talking for like 15 minutes. And I was like almost close to finishing, but I never got to finish it completely. So now I'm basically almost redoing it at this point, 2 days later. And this information about this book came out 3 days ago from Critical Overlord. But, like I said, I got busy, so I had to go do something else. But like I said, that could be one of the reasons for why Gale changed her mind and wrote a book about the events of Scream 5. Her producers and the team she's working with could have forced her to do that. She probably didn't even want to do that. Or maybe, Gale just simply wanted to write about the events of Scream 5. Courtney Cox recently, in an article, she said that, with Gale's character, she's living in New York and this and that. But in this article though, Courtney Cox said that Gale's character wrote a book about the events of Scream 5 because she felt like if she didn't do it, someone else would. And when I read that article and Courtney Cox said that about Gale's character, I was like, you know what? That actually makes sense. That makes sense because Gale has always been the type to be like, I gotta be the one to get this story done. I gotta cover this. I gotta be right on it. I gotta write about this. I gotta do that. Because if I don't, someone else is most likely gonna do it. Gale has always been that type of character. Gale's always just like very like competitive and just always is just trying to get the news coverage. You know what I'm saying? So that's always been Gale's character. And yes, some fans have, the reason they're upset about this is because they feel like this is ruining Gale's character development that she had over these past 5 movies. But the thing is, though, is yes, while Gale's character has changed, she hasn't gotten fully rid of that, kind of like that. She's not as self-centered as a character as she was before, but she definitely is kind of still. You know what I'm saying? like there's no doubt that Gale's character is still a little bit self-centered at times, and is always just trying to like, just be about the book and the story. And this is kind of the reason why her relationship with Dewey didn't even work out, because she had different goals that she wanted to achieve. Dewey had different goals. He wanted to live a different life, and eventually they just didn't work out because of that. Gale and Dewey, and they explained that in Scream 5. So, and even in Scream 4, Gale was like kind of like jealous of Sydney whenever she saw the success of, whenever Gale saw the success of Sydney with her book and the fame she was having. Like whenever like Gale and Sydney first meet, you see like in that little, when they first meet in Scream 4, and they're like in that like Gale, like Sydney's like I forgot where they're at, but they're in this like book, this little place where Sydney and Rebecca were both selling their books, and Gale says like, hello Sydney. And as Gale and Sydney are hugging when they first meet each other in Scream 4, Gale has this like almost jealous kind of like, just like she has this like jealous, and just like the way she's talking to Sydney, she's almost like, it's almost like she's just like she's just like just a little bit snarky, like she's just like that. And she's just basically being a little bit over herself because Sydney is the one who's getting the fame and attention with her book and all that stuff. So, it makes sense. Like I said, with Gale, she's always been that type of character. She was jealous of Sydney in Scream 4. She literally was. You literally can tell. There's even a deleted scene in Scream 4, which I know deleted scenes are deleted scenes. And a lot of the time, they don't matter. But specifically for Gale's character, I think it does matter, because there was this deleted scene in Scream 4 where Gale was talking to Dewey in like their house, and like Dewey and Gale are talking, and Dewey's about to go to work, and then Dewey tells Gale that her father passed away, I think, or something like that, and that Sydney has a book now and whatnot. And like Gale said something like, she said something like, oh yeah, no, you're just talking about Sydney, but what about me? She's like something like that. And like I said, this was in a deleted scene from Scream 4. And she was like almost like kind of talking jealous about Sydney. So yeah, I mean, like, and basically and in Scream 5, I felt like that was like the time where Gale and Sydney were like actually like no jealousy or anything. They both just came together completely. And yeah, I like that. But at the same time, even in Scream 5 though, like Gale was over here covering Judy's death. Like she was literally right on the scene reporting her death and whatnot. And although she did come for Dewey, there's no doubt about that. She even said it herself. But she also came to report the death of Judy. Like she literally came to do that. But the thing is too is that Gale even said herself whenever she was talking to Dewey in Scream 5 after Judy and Wes's death, Gale's like, oh, my producers wanted me to cover this for obvious reasons. So that right there also kind of like shows like, yeah, a lot of the times whenever Gale reports stuff, it's not because of her decision. Her producers are the ones telling her to cover this. So like I said, when it comes to this book too, her producers could have forced her to write about this book. And either way, it fits Gale's character. You know what I'm saying? Like, it fits Gale's character to even, backtrack on her words at times and just do whatever she wants. That's just how Gale is. She's always been that way. You know what I'm saying? And now that Dewey's dead too as well, which is a big argument that I've made a couple months ago in one of my old videos about Gale. I said in one of those videos that I think Sam and Tara, when they're walking away from Gale in this image right here, and they're entering the taxi, and Tara tells Gale, air that to your dim-witted audience. It was like some type of something like that. And I was talking about that in one of my videos, and I had this image right here pulled up, and I was talking about it because some fans were upset about that. Like, they were like, oh, why would Tara talk to Gale like that? Why would she say that to Gale? But from Sam and Tara's perspective, it kind of makes sense though, because they probably see Gale as like almost their friend now. So for Gale to go and do something like that, it wouldn't make sense. Whether Gale is being forced to write the book or not, it makes sense from Sam and Tara's perspective, whether they know or not themselves as well. It makes sense that Sam and Tara would be upset to Gale, and Tara would, she would end up saying something like that, like, air that to your dimwit audience, Gale, like, it would make sense. And another thing too is that what I mentioned in that video, from that theory video where I was talking about this, is that, and like I said, this was from a couple months ago. I don't even remember how long now, but I was talking about Gale possibly changing from being this nice, lovable character who we have now, going back to her old selfish ways again, like how she was in Scream 1 and Scream 2. I talked about Gale going back to her old ways. And the reason why I think that's possible is because now that Dewey is dead, now that Dewey is gone, who's going to tell Gale what to do? Who's going to tell Gale, oh, like, Gale, like, what are you doing? Like, you're always reporting on this, you're always writing about that, you're always doing this, you're always doing that. Dewey would always be the one to say that kind of stuff to Gale. And Dewey would almost put Gale in her place. Dewey would like scold her, like if she's his child or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dewey would put Gale in her place. And now that Dewey's dead, now that Dewey's gone, it makes sense that Gale would end up changing, kind of going back to her old ways again. Because now, who's going to tell her what to do? Who's going to tell her from right and wrong? She only really ever listened to Dewey most of the time. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense that now that Dewey's dead, she might go back to her old ways. And she may not even realize it. But once she does realize it, she goes back to being nice and helpful again. And she apologizes to Sam and Tara. And then she goes up to Sam and Tara. And I'm going to pull up this image, which I just did like a couple minutes ago. But basically, there is this new TV spot trailer number 7, I guess. And this image right here came from that TV spot trailer number 7. And it's this image right here with Sam and Tara and Kirby and Gale. They're all together in this scene. And I guess basically in this scene, in the TV spot trailer, Gale is like apologizing, or it sounds like she's apologizing to Sam and Tara. It's like, because Gale basically said in that TV spot trailer, if you guys go watch it, basically what Gale said is, I just want to come and help. And the way Gale said it, to me, in my opinion, it seems like it's at that point in the film where Gale realizes she's causing harm. She's doing wrong. She's going back to her old ways. So she's going up to Kirby. She's going up to Sam and Tara and apologizing to them. And she's wanting to help them. So I think that that's what's gonna happen with Gale's character in Scream Six, is she's gonna go back to her old ways. She's gonna be selfish, and I know some fans are gonna be upset by that, and they're gonna be like, "No, but they can't do that. Like they're Gale has she's nice now. She's always helpful. Like why would they ruin her character by making her selfish and you know going back to her old ways again? Like that just makes no sense and whatnot. Like, but like I said, now that Dewey is gone, who's gonna tell Gale what to do? And Gale might be in a bad place as well. She might be lonely. She might be going through a lot of pain and all that stuff. So, Gale she might not even realize what she's doing is wrong. She's over here writing a book about the events of Scream 5, and in her mind, she's just doing it to write a book. And that's how she sees it in her head. And like I said, it would make sense. And like I said as well, is that Gale, once she realizes that what she's doing is wrong and that she shouldn't have wrote the book about the events of Scream 5, she goes and apologizes to Sam and Tara and Kirby. Which I don't know. I don't think she's going to actually apologize to Kirby, but Kirby is in this scene. You can see the blonde hair right here. But yeah, Kirby is in this scene. But I don't think Gale's directly going to apologize to Kirby. But I feel like she is going to apologize in this scene to Sam and Tara. She's going to be like, look, I just want to help. I know what I did was wrong. Writing the book about the events of Scream 5 was wrong. I realized that I shouldn't have did that. I'm sorry. And now I just want to help. I feel like that's what's going to happen with Gale here in this scene and just in general with her character. And I honestly, I wouldn't mind that, Now, of course, if Gale is just a complete selfish, self-absorbed character, the whole movie, then sure, I would have a problem with that. But if she's only like that for some half of the movie, I wouldn't mind, because it would just be great to see Gale kind of like go back to her old ways for like a little bit, part of the film, and then her end up switching and, realizing what she's doing is wrong and then apologizing and going back to being nice and hopeful again and decides to help Sam and Tara. I honestly that would just be cool to see, just to see that character development round up again with Gale's character. I feel like that's what's going to make it interesting because, just to see Gale go from being selfish and self-absorbed again to then going back to also being helpful and, nice again towards the towards the end of the film. Like, I would like to see that, just because not only is it it's almost like reverse character development in the beginning with her becoming selfish again, but then reversing that by making her nice again towards the end of the film and she apologizes to Sam and Tara. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Like I said, if Gale was just this selfish, self-absorbed character the whole movie, then sure, I would have a problem with that. I would be like, yo, like, this is not, like, you can't make Gale be her old self for the whole movie. Like, this is not, you can't make Gale be Scream 96 Gale the whole movie, where she's just selfish and only cares about herself and, fame and money. Like, you can't have that Gale the whole movie for Scream 6, I could agree with that. But at the same time, if she's only like that for half the movie, but then realizes what she's doing is wrong and she has a change of heart and goes back to being nice and hopeful again and, apologizes to Sam and Tara, then I wouldn't mind seeing that. I think that would be great character, not only development in a way, but also just character arc with Gale. And just seeing her as well struggle with Dewey and his death. And, maybe she feels like no one understands her. She feels lonely after Dewey's death. I just felt like that all of that would be interesting to see. And end up rounding up to her character towards the end, where she ends up becoming just this nice, hopeful character again that Dewey once knew she was. Because, she wants to just be that, kind of, just she wants to be the best of herself, basically, towards the end of the film. That Dewey would always love and care about. So that's why I think, this is like this is the direction I think they're going to go with Gil, in my opinion. And I think it would be great to see. And that's why I think this is the reason why I think Gale wrote the book about the events of Scream 5, the Requel events about Scream 5, with all that stuff. Is because, her producers forced her to do it, or she just felt like doing it herself, or both. Either way, like I said, it doesn't matter, because I think it would be great character arc in general, just to see Gale go back to her old ways for like half the movie, go back to just being that old Gale that just wants the money and the fame and wants to write about books, wants to report everything and all that stuff. And it would just be great to see that version of Gale for like half the movie of Scream 6, and then have her realize, like, a little bit towards the middle half, a little bit like towards the end, she ends up realizing, like, yeah, I'm going back to my old ways, and I got to stop this. I got to, be helpful and actually be nice, because this is what Dewey would want. It would just be great to have that character arc with Gil and have her realize that and go back to being nice and hopeful again. Would that not be great to see? Like, I do. So, and it makes sense for Gale to go back to her old ways. Like I said, after Dewey died, who's going to tell Gale what to do? She only really ever listened to Dewey. So I'm just saying, like, Gale has always been that type of character too, in general, just to be kind of like, just a little self-absorbed and, like, be a little bit, just caring about herself at times. Like, that's just how Gale has always been. She's not your typical character that's just like, like, just always like so, nice and, whatever. Like, that's just not who Gale's character is. She's always been that stuck-up character. So, it makes sense that Gale would back out on her words of saying to Sam in Scream 5, like, oh yeah, I'm not going to write about the events of Scream 5. I'm going to let Richie and Amber die in ambiguity. Like, it makes sense she would back out on those words, because why? It's Gale Weathers. What do you expect? You know what I'm saying? So that's just my whole thing there, And I think, like, possibly as well, that towards the end of the film, maybe she ends up, this is after this scene, after this image right here with Sam and Tara and Kirby and Gale, they end up going to the shrine room, because Gale tells them that she has the key card to the shrine room, because possibly there is like this image right here with Gale having a bloody knife to her face was from the new TV spot trailer, like I said. And this image as well was from the new TV spot trailer. But yeah, this image right here with Gale with a knife in her face and Ghostface is trying to push it to her face. This is from the new TV spot trailer, number 7. And it's a little bit bloody, of course. And yes, some fans are saying, oh, she's going to die right here. But like I said, I've even said it in my last video where I was talking about Gale dying like CC Cooper and whatnot. I said in that video, I do not think Gale was going to die at any point of the film right here, where she's wearing this blue suit, this blue outfit. And this is not even her news reporting outfit. This is just this blue outfit she's wearing in her apartment. and she gets, like I said, I've said this many times. I think this is more towards the beginning of the film. Gale gets a call in her apartment by Ghostface, and then she gets chased by Ghostface on the balcony, and then she like sort of escapes him. Maybe she gets stabbed a little bit, gets a little bit hurt, and that's why the blood, the knife that Ghostface is aiming towards Gale's face is a little bit bloody, because she got stabbed a little bit and hurt, and she's fighting off Ghostface, and then she ends up, but she somehow makes it out alive. And like I said, I think this is towards the beginning of the film. Somehow she makes it out. Maybe one of the cops save her. Maybe Detective Bailey comes and saves her, or Kirby, or whoever. Someone comes and saves her. And Ghostface runs, he runs off. He escapes. And then, Ghostface accidentally drops the key card to the shrine room. Like maybe he had it on him or something. And Ghostface accidentally drops the key card to the shrine room, which then Gale, whether the police come and save her or not, either way, Gale, she somehow escapes and she makes it out alive. Ghostface accidentally drops the key card to the shrine room, and Ghostface leaves and whatnot, or she kills the Ghostface, whatever the case may be. And Ghostface, she picks up the key card to the shrine room that Ghostface accidentally dropped in her apartment, and then she ends up. That's whenever later on in the film, Gale takes Sam, Kirby, and Tara to the shrine place because she has the key card that Ghostface accidentally dropped in her apartment. So then she takes them there, and then that's whenever they all go to the shrine place. Now, how did Gale know that that key card was for the shrine place? Well, maybe it's a public place and it just recently got abandoned. Maybe it was public for a while and it got abandoned after, just like not even that long ago. Or maybe like Gale did some type of report of a murder there, or like something like that. And then Gale, with her investigation, like maybe, like I don't know, just somehow she finds out, because like I think it's probably the shrine place is probably a public area that is well known, so I think that's why Gale knows about it, and that's whenever they go there to the place, and possibly Gale, maybe at some point earlier in the film, she gets attacked there. Maybe one of the killers tells her about it. I don't know, but yeah, Gale takes them to the shrine room. She gets her key card that Ghostface accidentally dropped in her apartment. They go there, and that's whenever her and the rest of the group meet up there, and they're in the shrine room just investigating and looking around and all that we see in the trailer and all these other TV spot trailers as well. And that, the rest is up, just to imagination. But yeah, I think that's possibly what could happen. But either way, it's an interesting theory with Gale, just in general. Like what if she had the key card to the shrine room because Ghostface accidentally drops it, or something like that. Would that not be interesting? I mean, I just feel like it would be. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about all these theories that I talked about in this video. I'm glad I finally got to make this video, because I've been planning on making this video for like a while now, and I haven't been able to. So I'm glad I finally got to now. And yeah, because it's been like 2 days now that I've been trying to make it, and I just wasn't able to. I got busy. So now I finally made this video. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about all these theories about Gale and the book, that she's going to write about Scream 6, and, your theories and your opinions on the book about Scream that she's writing about Scream 5. And what I said about the end, that, with Ghostface possibly dropping the key card to the shrine room and Gale finds out and takes the rest of the group there. What do you guys think about that too? And yeah, just in general, leave me your thoughts in the comments down below. But before I leave, I just want to say real quick too about the book as well, is that when it comes to Gale writing this book too, I think Gale as well, she possibly could have wrote something positive about Sam. She possibly, in that book, she could have wrote, of course, about everything that happened in Scream 5, the Woodsboro murders that happened in Scream 5. She could have wrote about Richie and Amber, but she also could have wrote Sam in a positive way. But either way, though, Sam and Tara don't like that. Sam and Tara don't like that they're involved and that Gale wrote about it. But Gale writing positively about Sam is what leads a lot of other, like some of the other New Yorkers that were there, they're hearing about all these theories about Sam possibly being a killer and, all these theories, conspiracy theories about Sam being a killer. And they're like, nah, like Gale's lying. Like, there's no way Sam is not a killer. Like why would, like, Gale, why would you write this book about Sam being the good guy whenever she's actually the bad guy? Sam is the one that set Richie and Amber up. Richie and Amber are the good guys. Sam is the bad guy. Like, come on, Gale. Like, why? What if a lot of the town folks get mad at Gale for writing about Sam in a positive way? They're like, they a lot of the New Yorkers call Gale a liar. They're like, how could you say that how could you say that Sam is not a killer whenever there's proof? But in reality, a lot of the reasons that, just from a lot of the outsiders who don't know who Sam is, they only think she's a killer because of the conspiracy theories. But they think that Gale writing positively about Sam, saying that she's the one that helped out and was the good guy, is what makes a lot of these town folks really mad at Gale. And because they think she's the one who's lying, when in reality she's telling the truth. Like, Sam was not a killer, she was the good guy, she helped out. But they get mad at Gale for that. A lot of the town folks, they get mad at Gale for that and call her a liar. Like, I think that's possible. And of course, they don't know that Gale is actually telling the truth. Like, Sam is not a killer, she's a good guy. But they think that that's not true because of all the conspiracy theories going around about Sam being a killer and setting Richie and Amber up, and all that stuff. But there's also, maybe there's some out there though that think Gale is telling the truth. They think that, Gale's book about Sam, well, not directly about Sam, but Gale writing a book about the events of Scream 5 is, and then portraying Sam in a good light. Some out there read the book and they're like, wow, Sam is actually the good guy. But there's also some out there that are like, nah, Sam is not the good guy. So I think that's possible, that, that could be the case that is going around here. Like, Gale could be the one who makes some think that Sam is actually a good guy, but Gale could also be the one that, okay. But Gale could also be the one that makes a lot of them think that. Gale could also be the one that makes a lot of them mad because they're like, nah, Sam is a killer. So I don't know, but either way, I think that this is all just interesting to theorize about and speculate about. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. And I'm gonna be dropping more theory videos, like I said, more theories and more all that. So hopefully you guys enjoy. And hold on, just want to make sure. Yeah, because I have another Scream 6 theory video coming tomorrow for sure. And like I said, I know some fans are upset about Gale writing about the book, but for the reasons I just explained in this video, I don't think it's that big of a deal. And I've even seen some YouTubers like Beyond the Mask upset about Gale writing the book about the events of Scream 5, but I just don't think it's that big of a deal. So, you know, oh shoot, my bad, guys. The audio is kind of like I don't know what the heck's happening, but yeah, like, you know, some YouTubers like Beyond the Mask were upset about it. You know, he said he was upset about, you know, just like kind of upset about, you know, Gale writing a book about the events of Scream 5 and whatnot. But, you know, for the reasons I just explained, like I said, I just don't think it's that big of a deal. But like I said, I understand, though, for the most part, where Beyond the Mask is coming from. But I'm mainly just talking about just the like a lot of the, like some of these fans that I seen like just going crazy, like just like oh my gosh, like how can they make Gale, you know, this write about the events of Scream 5? Like that's just like so contradicting. Like they're like some fans are just going like they're getting like really upset by this, like to the point where they're like just like I don't know, bro. Like those are the fans I'm talking about here. Like those are some of the fans I'm talking about here. So yeah, you know, but yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.